Tennessee Homestead. How the heck are you? I was getting ready to have to make another video, and I thought about my trip down to uh, meet with the fellow that's getting into cattle, uh, and some of the things that we'd went over today. Then I thought, well, I'll share it with you guys. Uh, you might find it kind of interesting. Now, keep in mind that right now, mainly he's got weeds. Got a little grass popped up in there, but mainly weeds. But so we're gonna go in and do a disc. Might go a little deeper than what we thought, because I'd like to get some real good ground contact with these seeds. And we're gonna go in and probably broadcast this first one, then come back and bring the county out. The county extension will come out and drill in his ryegrass once we get this in the ground. So, but to give you some ideas of what we're looking at here, and you guys can get out and look for yourself to see what kind of protein levels, things of this nature that this grasses and combinations will do. Mainly, we're looking for root structure and what minerals and so forth these plants can help bring into the upper layers of the soil. So, give it to you. Now, we're going to use some of the sweet white clover, okay? But we're going to plant that primarily at the edges, the exterior perimeter of the pastures, just to have a stand of it. Whether or not he'll stick with that or not, I don't know, but we're going to go with that for the time being because of the beneficial factors that it can bring into his soil, and also the beneficial insects that it can lure into his pastures. Okay, so we want that. We're going to go with hairy vetch in there, red clover, of course. Daikon radishes we're going to go pretty heavy with. Really try to get that soil busted up good. The next one, a lot of folks don't think about this, but I could find no plantain out there at all. He didn't even see it in his yard, which I thought was weird. But most people view plantain as a weed. Actually, it is edible. But the big thing about plantain is it is for ruminant animals, goats and cattle, so forth. It is a natural wormer. I don't see the cattle out grazing on that a lot. Usually, if they start grazing on the plantain, they've got a worm load and they know it. And it always fascinates me how animals know what they need. Okay, they'll graze certain plants based on their nutritional needs that day. It's the same thing with the plantain. You'll all of a sudden see them out there grazing in that, and it's like, must have some worms. Okay? Why pay for wormers, chemical wormers? Okay? Just throw some plantain out there. Hey, you're done. We are going with some tall fescue in there. And then, of course, we've got the rye coming in from the county. And we're probably also at the looking at the whole thing. Let's look at the hairy vetch, the red clover, the white sweet clover, daikon, plantain, some tall fescue, and some rye. And we're really kicking around the idea of some sun hemp to help with getting the soil busted up. But we may do that next year. Okay. Right now we're looking for a start. Oh, forage quality. We also decided to sow oats out there too. So with that, should be a pretty good mix. Figure he's not going to put any calves out there until late spring, after his pastures are up good, maybe early summer even. So he should be pretty good shape by early summer. And right now we're in the process. Talk to a friend of mine who sells cattle, and probably end of this week, first part of next week, we're going to take a run down south and take a look at some of his calves he's got on these his current girls. Now here's a secret: if you can have somebody you know that you trust, okay, trust is important. A lot of times, what I will do, and I've done this in the past, and really holds my cost down. I'll buy a calf still on its mama. Take a good hard look at the calf, okay, but it's not been weaned yet. All right. Now you're assuming some of his risk when you do that, because that calf gets attacked by a coyote or tangled up in a fence or just comes down with something and croaks. You're just out, but you're not out a lot. Okay. Case in point, you can probably save, depending on the size of the calf, several $100s on some heifers per cow. Down the road, that several $100s begins to add up. It really does. All right. So, I mean, look at it this way: if you can save $500, let's say, on buying 5 heifers, just $500, lowers your calf cost. All right. You can sell in a little softer market and still make money. See the idea? By not waiting till they're weaned, you're dealing with a 250, 300 pound calf. Cost goes down. And usually by the time they're at 350 pounds, you can pretty much see how that cow's developing. You look at mama, you look at daddy, you make a judgment call on what you have there. And you know the breeder. Okay? I've known this guy for 10 years. Okay? Rarely does he lose any animals. I mean, it happens. This is the fellow that had all of his cattle group up underneath the big tree during a thunderstorm, and he said, after that lightning hit that tree, all the thing he had left out there was hooves. It can't happen. All right. So you're assuming some of the risk. You're getting a good animal, very cheap. Okay. And he's looking at, great, I don't have to fool with this calf, wean it off of mama, and out the door it goes. And he's got his money right now in his hand. So we're going to go down and take a look at some. He has good stock. Since this fellow's new to cattle, okay, he immediately wanted to start off with registered whatever and start inbreeding. And I told him to, settle down. A little bit, settle down. Cattle industry, for you guys getting into it, it is a game of reputation. Really it is. Okay? Even with the cattle that you take into auction, a lot of times you'll hear the auctioneer bragging up the fellow that raised his cattle. Saying this comes off of so-and-so's farm, man raises excellent stock. Things of this nature. People who are in there buying for their farms that know the area know you by name. It's a small world out there, okay? And there's some guys, I wouldn't buy one of their cows if they were selling it for $25. Bad. You're going to run into health issues. Filthy operation. What minerals the cattle ever get is what they can lick up off the ground or get out of a plant. Just doesn't take care of the livestock. But he'll fatten them up like a son of a gun right before auction. Stuff them full of feed. So reputation means a lot. So what I was telling him was trying to get into where you're breeding registered animals, where you're standing there asking for premium money out of somebody's pocket for the cow that you raised. they're gonna not be really willing to give you premium price if they don't know who the heck you are. So the best way to break into that field is to get in as with commercial cattle first. Get your reputation built as you turn out quality animals. Doesn't matter that they're not registered, that they're a commercial cow. If people get to know in the areas and the auctions you're going to that you breed and raise quality animals, then when you make the transition over to breeding Brangus or Angus or Herefords or whatever you decide to go with, you got a following, you might say. When they bring your cows out to that auction pen, okay, which rarely on when you're breeding registered stock, usually the auction's at your place, so you need to have the facilities and so forth to bring that to happen. Because I don't want to transport cows down to an auction barn, that I've raised and are good breeding stock, because it stresses the snot out of them. And you run the potential of picking up diseases, all sorts of things. If you don't sell it, it's coming back to your place. Now you got to quarantine it. It's just a truckload of headaches. Don't do it. So you'll find that most breeders will have you come out. And they'll run what they're selling into a corral. You can take a look at them. You can get out there and handle them. You can feel them. You can, check them out. And then settle on a price. Okay? So cattle handling facilities. Job one. Okay? Got to have it. Infrastructure first. Animals later. Okay? Try to get that in mind. I know it's hard. It's like, ever since I moved up here, it's like, I want chickens. Well, I got to tear down some outbuildings and build a chicken coop. Okay, I just can't throw them out there in the yard and have them roosting on my neighbor's cars. They really wouldn't appreciate it much. So, infrastructure first, always. Because, you can lose some good animals if you don't have the facilities to take care of them. Okay, so anybody starting out, especially with cattle, that's going to be my first stressor to you. Get your infrastructure in first. Get your corrals built, have your chutes, your head gates, have all that in place before you buy your first cow. All right. So anyway, he's going along good. We did hit a gold mine. That chicken coop he was getting ready to work on out there, he had to clean it out first. He says it really was nasty. Was apparently about 1.5 feet deep of wood chips and chicken manure that had been there for 2 years. So, yeah, he's got a head start on a heck of a compost pile going there. So it's done cooled off enough. He was talking about using it for his starting hot compost pile. So you're going to add some nitrogen to that to get it hot again, because that stuff's, you could go throw it on the field. It's ready. But he's done a real good job. And I told him where to start looking. I said, even, run an ad and, Facebook's got the little marketplace things and stuff of that. And I said, run some ads. Tell them you'll take free chickens off their hands. I said, you'd be surprised how many people have brought in chickens into a place that's a rental property and they end up moving. And the place they're going to, they can't have chickens, so they're looking for somebody to come get these chickens. Okay, there you go. I know a lady who really has stocked her farm that way. She opened it up to all farm animals. And she would get half-starved horses and mules and goats and, chickens and ducks and turkeys, just everything. And she'd fatten them up some, and what she didn't want to keep on her farm, she'd sell. And, you can actually sell a horse that doesn't have all of its ribs hung out. Yeah, it looked like it's about ready to fall over. So, yeah, she wouldn't get a lot out of them. But she'd pick up a few $100, pay for her feed. So, yeah. So I told them that'd be a way to start. I said, you may not get any hits, but those ads are free. Why not give it a whirl, And you're not in a big rush. I said, otherwise, Start talking to people who are selling eggs. See if they got can I buy a couple of your chickens? Something of that nature. I said, just check around. I said, you're not in a hurry. We got the pastures to get set up. You're going to have to get some cattle out there. And after you have the cattle out there running them through the pastures, then you have the need for that chicken. So you got time. So he's working on that. But I love their enthusiasm. I really do. Good grief. I got to tell them I'd take some of that chicken manure and wherever you're putting in your house garden, spread it around and it'll be a good deal. But I thought that'd be some good advice for people. I know I've got a few people who say that they're just getting into cattle. That's one way to build a herd fairly quickly, because realistically, if you're going to buy calves to hold your costs down, and a good breed, somebody that's got good cattle, got a good reputation, and if you don't, I wouldn't recommend doing this. Okay, seriously, because you don't want to hand a guy $400 or $350, and suddenly find out you just lost $350 because he calls you and says, "Hey, your cow died." No, you don't want that, and it can happen even to a good breeder, but it's pretty slim. Make sure that they always ear tag that animal right then, in your presence. Okay, and a lot of times I'd put the initials to the farm on the tag in permanent marker. But these are some things to think about starting out. You guys will sell you a calf that's not weaned. A lot of them will, if they're good. Okay, because by the time they're that age, they know, okay, I got a healthy calf here. I'm not sweating having to make that phone call to the guy. You can pick them up cheaper because their body weight, they got less body weight, and end up with some really good stock for very little money. And I'm probably going to redo the thing on making money with cattle because the information is old, and it's the commodities market. It changes a lot, but the basic principles of the whole thing is starting out is where you save your costs. All right? That's where you hold the line on your costs. What you're paying for mom and what you're going to pay for that bull, so forth. All right? And there's a big difference divided up amongst maybe 10 calves if mama cost you $350 as opposed to $1,500-$1,600. Okay? Because that extra amount of money is going to have to be applied to each calf for you to hit a break-even point, along with feed and whatever else you got to have there. So I've worked with him a little bit now, telling him, if you buy a box of nails, man, it needs to go in your spreadsheet. You need to know every dime you're putting into this place so that you don't get surprised. Okay? It's the way it is. And when you're actually up in production, you really got to watch it. Okay? You got to make darn sure that you know every penny you're spending. Every penny. Same thing even with chickens if you're going to sell eggs. When you know the actual cost of what it costs you per egg to produce an egg, it'll shock you what you need for a dozen eggs if you're going to make money off of selling eggs. Okay? You better make sure you're in a market that'll bear it. Okay, because it can get up there. Even if you're free range, it can get up there. So keep these kind of things in mind, but cost and tracking costs, okay, is extremely important. And that's what I told him. I said, if I have to come down here in 2 years from now and you can't tell me what you're into that cow, I'm going to kick you in the butt. And I said, but we'll start looking at some calves that are still on their mama from a couple of guys. I got 2 different suppliers that I would trust. See if we can get him in business the right way where this kid takes off and makes money. Because I mean, cattle are a long stretch anyway. You're ways down the road before you start making any money. Okay, this ain't gotten too long. So And just a quick little video to let you know. Oh, want to also say I got your care package, Jess, and Sandy was very thrilled with it. Matter of fact, that toy is her favorite. She loves the thing. So thank you very much, and I'm hoping to get to read that book this weekend. So thank you very much, ma'am. It was a subscriber of the channel that sent me a care package for the dog I got, and I'll try to get some pictures put together of her and get them posted. Anyway, y'all have a great day, have a wonderful rest of the week, and have a super weekend. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.